I am a Lagosian and also a Sagamite from Remo, Ogun State. I got the privilege of claiming Lagos State, the land of my birth, and Ogun State, the land of my ancestral heritage. Not so for many whose ancestral home is Lagos. Many often use the mantra of Lagos as a no man's land to justify their indigenuity. They say it for the following reasons. Birth. Many were born and bred in Lagos like me. They know no other place as home. Tax. Many pay their taxes to the Lagos state government, which confers on them the right to hold the government accountable. The law. Many believe the Constitution confers on them the rights of an indigene. Do I think this is enough to claim Lagos as one state of origin? Yes, I do. After all, the FAC allocation to Lagos is based on headcount and not state of origin. But is it enough to say Lagos is a no man's land? No, it is not. Out of the population of Dubai, which is about 3.5 million people, only 8% are Emirati. The vast majority are expatriates. What you won't hear is the 92% telling the 8% that Dubai is a no man's land, because it is not. Lagos is not a no man's land. It is the land of the Aworis in Lagos Island and the mainland, the Eguns in Badagry, the descendants of free slaves, and later the Ijebus in Ekwe and Ikorodu. Eko has a long history as a major trading hub, attracting various groups like the Portuguese, who later gave it the name Lagos, meaning lakes. It is a place that has always thrived and benefited from the diversity it attracts. As we approach a new election season, let us be sensitive in our conversation and our communication. The fact that Lagos is both a cosmopolitan state and the ancestral land of the Aworis can be true at the same time. Let's avoid rhetoric that pits people, tribe, and communities against each other. Lagos will not be Lagos without the people, and the people will not be in Lagos without the existence of Lagos.
Okay, we should still be able to see while crying, right? Because when people say things like Lagos is a no man's land, I consider it very disrespectful to the indigenous Lagosians, because it implies that Lagos has no distinctive cultural and historical ownership. And it also erases the native communities. As much as Lagos has been quite acceptant of other people's cultures, other individuals from all over the world and not just Nigeria, it doesn't mean we should be disrespectful to the indigenous Lagosians or not acknowledge their existence and the impact and the amount of effort they have put into developing Lagos as it is.
Great.
Well, for me, Yinka, I don't know if you set out to confuse us. In one breath, you're advocating for all Lagosians, and in another breath, you're carefully excluding them from some privileges. So let me say, yes, I agree that saying a no man's land perhaps is not responsible, but I'll say Lagos is the land of all Lagosians as provided by the Constitution, which you alluded to. So you see, you mentioned tax, what the Constitution says, and I feel that confers on any Lagosian every right if we are truly going to build a nation. You know, Lagos prides itself as the first among equals, and I think this has to also reflect in the political leadership. If Lagos is not able to do it, I don't see any state that can do it. Until we see an Igbo man, a Hausa man, a Kanuri man as governor of Lagos State, it's not going to happen anywhere else. And I'm not saying that should happen only in Lagos, but I'm just saying, of course, Lagos is one of the places you would think.
It's the example.
Yes, it's the example that others should follow. And you know, it gives birth to what the Gwaris are complaining about now in FCT. You bring an FCT minister, they have no say, so they're asking for an assembly, they're asking for a mayor, they're asking for elective. But yeah, that's just my take. I agree that it's not a no man's land. And as Zuma said, we must acknowledge the locals, the ancestral heritage and all that. But if we are truly going to build this nation called Nigeria, we have to see it from Lagos.
Great. Fantastic.
Well, you just said something, Andy, that got me thinking. So that means that Abuja has succeeded in this part of, you know, people from wherever in Nigeria can be the governor.
That's a multicultural.
Yes, you just
They haven't
want
succeeded.
something
The
else.
government imposes a minister on them. It's not like
Okay.
they select the
Okay,
minister.
true.
It's not an elected position.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. But I find your advocacy very thought-provoking because I have heard the term no man's land. And, you know, I'm not an indigenous Lagosian, so I haven't found it offensive because of the, you know, the fact that I was born here and I mean, everything, I've lived in Lagos
You are a
almost all my
foundational
life.
Lagosian,
Yes,
but not an
yes.
indigenous Lagosian.
Exactly. But then the way you split the hairs, I thought, you know, for me, it was an education. And so I've adjusted my views based on your advocacy. So, you know, you were able to differentiate the need for all Lagosians, you know, to be included without, and at the same time acknowledge the rights of the indigenous people. So I thought I don't have much to say about, you know, what you have, your advocacy as written. For me, was more like an education. So I agree.
Thank you.
Yeah, for me, I think the phrase no man's land is the term you find being used for multicultural cities. I took a quick dive into why London is called no man's land, and it was quite an education because of its multicultural nature, complex social fabric, a melting pot, slavery back then, you know, poverty, even exclusion also. All of these made
Metropolitan,
London, no man. It's the nature of cosmopolitan cities.
Yeah.
I like that, and they talked about Abuja as well, because, I mean, that's what Abuja is. It looks like it's the second multicultural space in Nigeria. Having said that, you always see that indigenes always fight back. And, I mean, that's the thinking behind Trump's second coming and the MAGA thingy. Make America Great Again is about them pushing back, because there were statistics that say that the non-whites were going to take over America in no time. There were statistics. And if you look at the UK, just recently, you could see the immigration reform. It's the indigenous people of London, of the UK, fighting back to say, this is our land. So Lagos is the land of some people. We must respect that. I think at the heart of this is respecting the indigenous people of Abuja, of Lagos. And when we say no man's land, let's use it loosely, that this is a place that welcomes everyone, and then we don't take that for granted.
Where conversations are layered and nuanced, let's not drum it down to suit our selfish agendas.
I'm with you, Yinka. Let's not speak in crude terms about matters that deserve to be handled with care and sensitivity.